Thompson and St. Croix side by side. Racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Croix is going to bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horn is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Michigan International Speedway. Welcome to the Group 6 200, and welcome to the next to last race here in our playoff season in this Group 6 Cup Series. What a season it's been, and what a race it is going to be tonight with these guys out here battling it out for the championship. As always, my name is Hunter Foley. I'm up here in the broadcast booth with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith. Got just about a minute left in our practice before we get over to qualifying. But before we get over to all the racing action, we want to make sure that we thank all of our wonderful sponsors who make this thing possible. Keep us up here in the booth. Keep those drivers out on the track. As you heard just a second ago, this is the Group 6 Cup Series, and Group 6 doubling down tonight as our race sponsor as well for the Group 6 200. So special, extra big shout out to Group 6. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they're passionate about crafting cutting edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks once again to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year and our race sponsor tonight. The Doghouse Racing League is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also very proud and happy in the Group 6 Cup Series of the Doghouse Racing League to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your sim racing experience to the next level, be sure you head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com and check out their products for yourself. Trusted by both professionals and the everyday driver, I can promise you, whatever you pick up over there, you will not be sorry. Thank you once again to Butt Kicker for being a sponsor this year. We'll see these drivers get ready to come out here and get their qualifying lap started. We just wanted to say thank you to everybody for tuning in here with us. Apologies. We got started a little late, had some technical difficulties over on this end, but we got 16 people out there joining us for this next to last race in the playoffs. Expecting a really good night of racing here. Be sure you leave a like if you haven't yet. It helps the channel so much. And subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any of the racing action that we'll be bringing your way over here on Doghouse Racing TV, whether it be for the Group 6 Cup Series or any of the other action that is going to be on the way. And as always, make sure you get loud in the comments. Cheer on your drivers. They love hearing it. We love seeing it. BMAC, as always, in the comments, saying, hi, Hunter and Jonathan. Wonder if tonight's race will be as exciting and stressful as the Blue Jays game. Have a great race, Team BNP and Andrew. Have an amazing fun race. Go number 12. BMAC saying no nails left to bite tonight. And John Novak checking out the broadcast before he gets over onto the track as well. Saw him putting down some practice laps just a second ago. We've got the guys out here qualifying, so we are getting ready to get over and onto the track here at Michigan. So I guess with that being said, let me go ahead and shut my mouth I guess I'll shut my mouth and start talking about qualifying here. So we are getting underway here at Michigan. For those that don't know, Michigan is a 2-mile track, so we are going to be doing 200 miles here tonight. So that makes it 100 laps here at Michigan. These guys will have 4 sets of tires here tonight to go through while they are out there on the track. Really good night for racing as well. 69 degrees out on the track, so they're going to be able to get a lot of good traction out there tonight. Expecting a really good night of racing. Stages will be on lap 25 and lap 50. Again, if this is your first time tuning in here with us, no yellow flags, no caution flags come out for our stages. Those are just for points. Bonus points will be awarded to our top 10 drivers at the conclusion of those stages. So it'll be when we are going from lap 25 to 26 and lap 50 to lap 51. 10 points for the driver in first place, 9 for second place, 8 for third place, and so on and such forth. Kathy Trush in the comments, Team Trush number 23, home track. Good luck, Brandon. Are seeing these guys go ahead and get their qualifying laps underway here. Currently, you're going to have Nick Atwood in the driver's seat, sitting in our pole position right now with a 37.07. He actually just got overtaken by one of his Team BMP teammates here, Kevin Thompson, with a 37.062. Really good work out of Kevin Thompson to go ahead and get onto the pole position here so far for the night. Still got some guys out there doing some work out on the track, though. John Novak, who was in the comments just a second ago, comes out with a 37.85, good for 14th in qualifying thus far. And as for our cheering mothers in the chat, BMAC, Andrew has not put down a qualifying lap just yet, but you do have 2 BMP guys in the top 3, Kevin Thompson getting second and Nick Atwood getting third. Gary Clune currently sitting in 6th place as well at the moment. And for Kathy, Brandon is going to be starting in 11th. We will get to our full grid here in just a second once things get gridded up here. Got Robert Lawrence in the comments. Good luck, Nathan, number 97. Hang on to it, kid. Nathan Lawrence putting down a 37.85 in qualifying. That is good to be starting in 17th place here tonight. I believe we're going to have 24 cars on the track tonight for our next to last race here in the Group 6 Cup Series playoffs. Got to admit, it's a little bit bittersweet seeing this really exciting season start to come to an end here, but we are all finished with qualifying, so we are going to have 20 of our 24 drivers put down a qualifying time here. I believe it is going to be Andrew St. Cord, Josh Cully, Daniel Wilkerson, and Gary Armijo not putting down a qualifying time. So they will start toward the back of the pack. Then we'll go in order of I rating at that point. So I will see who that goes to here in just 1 second. But these guys are going to have 5 more minutes of practice, and then we will get over to the racing action. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken here, that my broadcast partner is ready to say something intelligent about Michigan. So I will kick it over to John, and now I will shut up and quit my jabbering.
Oh man, I could have just fooled everybody, just not talked. It makes you look really bad there, but not gonna do that. Yeah, I did have some technical difficulties getting this stream started, and it was not with any computer of any sort. It was actually with my alarm clock, and I just did not want to use the alarm clock properly to wake up. Been a long day, long all-nighter of studying and try to catch more sleep today, and now we're back here doing it here at Michigan, but going to be a lot of fun. I promise my voice is going to get better as this run goes on here, but I want to show you some of the race info for tonight as we head into the Group 6 200 2-mile track. Got some high altitude out here, which is going to mess with some of the humidity, the track temp a little bit, how dense that air is as well coming into that front grille and really displace it across the engine. So 11-mile-per-hour wind, but it's also just going to be a really good day for racing. Good track temp all the way around, and this track's pretty fun. Get to go pretty fast here. You can have a few different strategies, whether you're matting it down through the whole 1 and 2, or you're just trying to bide your tires and take the low side. A lot of different lines you can possibly run here, and it's going to be a lot of exciting racing as these guys go around here for these 200 miles to inch yourselves a little bit closer. Guys I really like to watch out for, and I'm sorry if you've already said something about this, really looking at tonight at Justin McMahon and Eric Warman coming into the point system 3 and 4 for tonight, separated by about 19 points, and I can pull those points up for you right now, actually, as I'm talking about it. Those guys separated by just 19 points, trying to get up there to the 3rd place podium spot so they can get themselves a trophy here at the end of the season, chasing down Andrew St. Cyr, Jamie Horn, who it looks like their positions are pretty secure at this time. Chris Simon lead is 14 points, I think. It's a little bit small on my screen, but right behind Justin McMahon, and he's trying to chase down that spot there. So a lot of tight racing between Simon and McMahon and Justin and Eric Warman tonight. I think it's going to be a really good time. If I had to make a pick for tonight, this was a really hard one, actually. I really want to say Eric Warman tonight. Hunter, you got any picks?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to go with, I know we talked about it a little bit before the race. I'm actually going to go with Andrew St. Cyr for tonight. I think he's going to come back competitive. I think he's going to come back ready to race tonight. And one of the things that I actually did forget before I made my pick was that I believe Andrew is going to be starting toward the back of the pack tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he had a called responsibility for a caution that happened last week. And so he is going to be starting toward the back of the pack, but I think he's going to be able to fight back up to the front and be really competitive tonight.
Absolutely. Checking out Nathan Lawrence coming around here for his warm-up time. And that new 97 Sim Motion machine, that is a new Nap Daddy racing car. Had to make sure I don't know, just pat myself on the back a little bit, show that one off.
Shameless self-plug.
That one was fun because the Sim Motion team themselves were all very excited about it and actually changed their Facebook banner to that car. So shout out to Nathan, who is the new cover photo for Sim Motion.
That is super fun. I was looking at the Sim Motion website a little bit the other night. Lots of cool stuff on there.
Chris Simon also out here rocking a new paint scheme of that 21 Progressive car. I was looking for that Wood Brothers 21's logo, but yeah, Progressive, got flow on the back.
Very nice. That's a good looking car.
Kevin Thompson coming down pit road here, getting himself prepped up for tonight, making sure he can hit his marks coming inside of pit road. It's one thing I've always realized you got to practice is pit road entry.
And thank God Michigan's got a little bit of a faster pit road speed, I believe, so you're not immediately having to get it so slowed down to get down there. I mean, Michigan's one of those tracks super, super fast out there. Like you were talking about, a lot of different lines these guys can take. A lot of guys kind of get fooled by the fact that you can really keep it matted down all the way through turn 1 and 2, get a ton of speed out there, but Michigan will kind of silently eat your tires up, and especially over the course of a long race like this, 100 laps, got to make sure you have the tire strategy. You don't, even though you do have those 4 sets of tires, you don't want to burn all of those up right at the beginning, but I believe we're about to get gridded up here.
Yep, before we get gridded up, we are going to take a quick 5-second break, and we'll be right back. And we are back here for this Group 6 200 getting gridded up here. I want you to quickly read them off for us since I kind of took some of your time here.
I'll spin through it pretty quick. So tonight, starting in the pole position for the Group 6 200, you are going to have your points leader, Mr. Jamie Horn, leading them off at Michigan. Starting in second place, you are going to have the two-man combo of Team BMP guys. You're going to have Kevin Thompson starting in second and Nicholas Atwood in third. Starting in fourth tonight, Shoney's Racing Team, number 83, Chris Leftwich. Number 24 got the race and series sponsor on the hood, Justin McMahon, starting in fifth. Mike Leftwich, another Shoney's Racing Team guy, starting in sixth place. Gary Clune, good starting positions for Team BMP tonight, starting seventh. Chris Simon, going to be starting in eighth in that new progressive car. Adam Thompson, going to be starting in ninth place tonight in that number 71 machine. And Eric Warman battling for those spots in the points, going to be rounding out your top 10. Joe McKnight, going to be starting in 11th place tonight. Brandon Trush going to be starting in 12th. 13th position is going to be Stephen Bonomo. 14th going to be Brett McCoy. Bill Gentry going to round out your top 15 for tonight. Tony Martin going to be starting in 16th. John Novak going to be starting in 17th. Number 97 of Nathan Lawrence going to be starting in 18th. Richard Leclerc going to be starting in 19th position, and 20th is going to be Tyler Millette. After that, it will be the cars who did not qualify, and that is going to be Josh Cully starting in 22nd, Daniel Wilkerson starting 23rd, and Gary Armijo starting 24th. Andrew St. Cyr serving in EOL from last race, so he will be starting at the back of the pack in 24th. Definitely do not expect him to stay there all night long. Got a couple more people in the comments. Sean Thompson saying good luck to Kevin and go Dodgers. Good luck to Kevin, but not go Dodgers. Robert Lawrence saying nice job. 97 car looks awesome. We appreciate it. And the pace car makes the hard left turn. We are getting underway here at Michigan for the Group 6 200. Jamie Horn takes the green flag with a big push from Nicholas Atwood there on the low side. Everybody else grouping up, trying to find their lane. But a big start for Jamie Horn, Nick Atwood, Justin McMahon out front. One of the things to watch out for as well here at Michigan. Michigan, one of those tracks, you know, like you talked about, can be really, really tough on the tires. It's also definitely one of those tracks where you can see people, especially as those tires start to get worn, you can start to get really loose. That car wants to end up in that grass and start becoming a competitor for the John Deere award. We saw after the last couple of iRacing updates, that snap loose effect can really come into play at some tracks. And so John, if you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Michigan's one of those where you kind of see that maybe more than some other places.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just, you got to really manage your tires well here and not slide up the track. Watch out for those left side tires, especially too, as you're sliding and getting around these corners. But it's one of those tracks that you feel like you're going really fast at, but you're also burning your tires up at the same time.
Seeing a good battle up at the front going on right now. Justin McMahon out there trying to get in front of Jamie Horn, trying to use the high side. Got a little bit of help from Kevin Thompson. Kevin Thompson kind of more sticking to that middle lane right now. Kind of splitting the gap between those two drivers up front. Nick Atwood back in fourth place now. Gary Clune rounding out your top five at the stand right now. Brandon Trush already looking to make some moves, starting back in 12th, up to 11th already. Trying to continue to work his way forward into the top 10. See him go three wide, and we have a crash on the inside. Stephen Bonomo coming off the nose of Brent McCoy there, and there all the way around, and we have our first caution flag of the night here on lap 4.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of your cautions at tonight coming off of turn 2 there, especially. I mean, that's going to be probably 90% of them. You're going pretty fast, gaining a lot of speed coming around there. A lot of your exit speed is kind of crucial for that run in the back stretch. So some guys are going to be really getting a good run, and some guys a little bit slower. But also, you just have to understand each other's lines, and there's a lot of trust built into this track when you're exiting that corner, knowing some guy's going to go up or when he's going to go up. So it's generally a big source of accidents here at this track is turn 2.
Like, I believe it was Joe McKnight there. He came off the wall just a little bit. And when he came down a little bit, it looked like Steve Bonomo tried to correct and kind of came across the nose of Brent McCoy there.
Yeah, we're going to actually jump into a cockpit view here with Steve Bonomo. Ooh. Jamie Horn and Justin McMahon both down pit road.
It looks like we had quite a few guys actually choose to go ahead and bring it down. Jamie Horn brought it down. Justin McMahon down pit road. I believe Adam Thompson, Brandon Trush, Joe McKnight, Bill Gentry, Nathan Lawrence, John Novak, Tyler Millette, Josh Cully, Brent McCoy, Richard Leclerc, Stephen Bonomo, Andrew St. Cyr, Daniel Wilkerson, Gary Armijo, all choosing to bring it down. Only your top 4 choosing not to bring it down. That's going to be Kevin Thompson, Nicholas Atwood, and Gary Clune. I believe the Leftwiches stayed out as well, so I guess this is actually your top 5. That was very fortunate timing actually for Andrew St. Cyr. Andrew St. Cyr starting at the back of the pack and then serving that drive-through there at the beginning of the race at the conclusion of the first lap, and he's actually able to go ahead and get that served and be right back in the mix of things. So unfortunate there a little bit for Stephen Bonomo and for Brent McCoy, but very fortunate for Andrew St. Cyr. Got a couple other comments in here. Tila22 say, let's go, Nate, number 97. And Robert Lawrence again saying the 97 car looks awesome. We appreciate it on behalf of John. I know he spent a lot of time on that car. And it was cool to see that the company that Nathan's branded on the side liked it as well. Always got to love it when the sponsors are happy. But your starting order, once we get this thing back underway here, Kevin Thompson going to be starting in first. Nick Atwood going to be starting in second. Gary Clune in third. Chris Leftwich in fourth. Mike Leftwich in fifth. Eric Warman in sixth. Chris Simon going to be restarting seventh. Tony Martin eighth. Adam Thompson ninth. And Bill Gentry going to be restarting in 10th place. That will round out your top 10 as we get this thing back going after our first caution flag.
I apologize. I'm trying to prepare some go-go juice here in the background, which for me is just a Celsius powder in a water bottle, but
anything to get you going, man.
Yeah, never been a big coffee guy, but actually, you know what? Oops, sorry, I gotta shout out our boys at Engine 4 Coffee Company as a Nap Daddy sponsor there. Thank you guys very much. But personally, just for being real, the Celsius water powder for me. But going back green here, so pour some more go-go juice at the front. Kevin Thompson trying to find it all here tonight and pour it all in. to move himself up. Looks like Gary Kloon going up high and get to the side of Chris Leftwich. Nick Atwood's going to be in second place in that 91 machine. Eric Warman looking like he wants to split the gap. Might not do it here.
Yeah, like you said, at Michigan, you can just have so many different lanes. You see guys picking exactly where they want to be, trying to run their race. Just a lot of different places you can be. Makes for really exciting racing. Also can make for some dangerous racing, as we've already seen here tonight. Having a caution within the first 10 laps. I think I can count on one hand the amount of times we've had that happen here in the Group 6 Cup Series this year. But certainly makes for some fun racing. We got some 3 wide going on already here in the pack. Saw Steve Minomo and Daniel Wilkerson back towards the back of the pack. They were battling it out, trying to fight their way back into the top 20. Lots of good racing going on across the track. Yeah, well, I guess one of the fun facts that maybe people don't know is, you know, as much as we do love broadcasting, and I promise you, we really do enjoy it. This Thursday nights are something that we look forward to an awful lot, but we both of us end up kind of getting on like right after we get done doing all the kind of real life stuff we end up doing. I work for a construction company doing project management, and John's a full-time student, a medical student actually, so both of us stay pretty busy during the daytime, and sometimes, you know, you get a little busy during the daytime, or in John's case, didn't get much sleep last night. I know he was studying for an exam this morning. You try to catch a little power nap, and sometimes those alarm clocks just don't work as good as you want them to.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this, as Danny Glover would say. Not the racing stuff, just the whole school thing. Yeah, a little bit of a non-trad student. Non-traditional medical student, meaning I worked a job for a few years in the fire EMS field, and then finally went back to school and going to med school now, and it's been a tough one. Especially having your first child, your newborn child on the 4th day of med school.
Yeah,
you know, just
fun.
Just a very character building year for me. Been very character building for the last 2 years. You know, we appreciate the build, the grind. Appreciate the mountain. It's always fun when you get to the peak of the mountain and you look over and you see a mountain that's just as big, and you got to climb that one next. So that's always a good time.
This has been motivational speeches with John. When you climb that mountain that's trying to get up, there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
And it's probably bigger.
God, you're kidding. The sign that says like 5 miles to the top. You didn't see that snow was covering up the 2 zeros beside it, so it's 500 miles to the top. That's kind of how I feel.
Oh my gosh. It has been an exciting night of racing so far here. Kevin Thompson's still out in the lead here for our Group 6 200 as we are on lap 13 right now, have our first stage at lap 25. So you're going to start seeing these guys, I think, probably start battling it out here a little more, trying to get every stage point they can. I know that's going to be especially important for Eric Warman. They're already up several spots. Started in 10th place, up to 2nd now. You know, he's up there battling to be in the top 3 of our point standings, and not much time left to get points here. Only got Michigan tonight, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, North Wilkesboro next week?
You're correct. Going to finish it off at a NASCAR Classic over at North Wilkesboro. Might actually look up some of the rumors about North Wilkesboro, so we can share them next week.
And there is plenty.
Yeah, apparently there's a whole moonshining operation that took place underneath the racetrack.
Which is why even for all those years that North Wilkesboro was going broke and not making any money, because a lot of people are like, oh, why did they get rid of a NASCAR Classic? It's because it hadn't made money in about, I think, at that point, maybe 30 years. And but the owner always very, very stringent that he's not going to sell it, doesn't want to get rid of it. And there's a lot of stories about why that might have been. And I believe some of those other rumors and stories about North Wilkesboro, I believe, first of all, that the original owner of it has passed on several years ago. So I don't think we're talking ill of anyone that is still in the land of the living. And also believe I heard some not so nice things about that particular gentleman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we might say the not so nice things for another time.
Yeah,
but definitely want to hear about the roots of NASCAR and how it started as a moonshining, pretty much a running business, but not selling moonshine itself, but the cars for moonshine runs. And that's kind of where it all started. But coming through the pack here, like they are on a moonshine run, it's going to be Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Cour. St. Cour's up 10 spots right now, sitting in P11. These guys coming around the track and battling it out here. That's Jamie Horn there on the bottom side of Tony Martin. Nathan Lawrence following him.
Both of those guys been on an absolute run here to get things started. I know it seems like maybe Jamie might be sitting back a little bit more.
He got very loose there.
Yeah, Jamie back a couple spots. Started on our pole position, back to 10th right now, but a lot of other big movers in that mix right there. Tony Martin started 16th up to 9th right now. Nathan Lawrence starting in 18th up to 10th place. Andrew St. Cour right behind them started in 21st and then had to take an end of the line. Also do a pit drive through. So he was absolutely at the back of the pack, already up to 11th place. He is a man on a mission tonight.
Justin Man getting past Tony Martin there. Going to keep the run going. Try to squeeze below Andrew St. Cour as well.
Andrew St. Cour and Nathan Lawrence got really close right there as well. I'm not sure Nathan got a little bit tighter. Andrew got a little bit loose, but that was tight right there. Also, just as an update on the pack here, I believe we have Richard Leclerc, who has already decided to call it a night. He's going to be back in 24th, 6 laps down, no longer on the track or in the session. And Joe McKnight, who we saw just a little bit earlier, just in front of that caution, that first caution we had, I believe that was on lap 7. Unfortunately, well off the pace right now, sitting in 23rd, about 15 seconds behind the race leader. So I know Michigan, 2 miles, it's basically a super speedway, but to be honest, it acts a lot differently than some of the other super speedways. What are some of the differences that you see at a Michigan versus, for example, like a Talladega?
Well, first, you got to let off the gas here, especially throughout the run as you're going through the corners. I mean, through qualifying, you might be able to mat it down all the way through 1 and 2. But as the run goes on, you'll see these guys start really high and then dive down to the bottom of the track, exit very low here coming out of 2. And then start easing your way back up because you want to try to get as much of an arc here as possible so you don't have to let off as much. 3 and 4 is a little bit different. I think this bottom line you'll kind of see here with Kevin Thompson. There's a little bit of a patch that's a different color right along the yellow line there. Sometimes that has grip, but sometimes it does not have grip, and I think recently does not have a lot of grip. It can almost spin you, but if you can ride it long enough, you might be a little bit faster there. So it's pretty unique. Every little line has a little bit different character the way these guys will run it. There's about 5 lanes coming through 1 and 2 that you can pick, and each one runs a little bit different. So there's multiple ways to pass. So while these guys do get strung out just a little bit, it's one of those tracks you can catch up probably 2 or 3 tenths off just one backstretch if you get a good enough run coming out of turn 2.
And even though Michigan, big track at 2 miles, I mean, drafting not nearly as big of a deal as it is at some of the other larger super speedways on the NASCAR circuit.
Yeah, not like a huge factor that you're going to lose the draft and lose everything, but definitely comes into play, especially when you're in packs or you're by yourself trying to keep up. It will kind of help you, especially coming here on the backstretch. A little bumpy there on the backstretch as well. I didn't really notice that until probably a day or 2 ago when I was doing official here, but it is pretty bumpy right on that high side line coming down the backstretch. Not quite as bumpy as an auto club is, where it almost throws you to the left and to the right and up and down, but can definitely disrupt the car just a little bit you're going through, but Kevin Thompson seems to be managing it well. He's out to a 3/10 lead over Chris Leftwich. Checking in on this second pack here behind Mike Leftwich. It's being led by Chris Simon for now as Jamie Horn gets very loose coming around that corner. Not a lot of grip down there as we were just talking about in 3 and 4.
Mr. Nathan Lawrence come over the radio, say, hang on to her, Jamie. As you see Nathan going around there on the high side of Jamie Horn. Oh, Bill Gentry gets really loose right behind them. Same for Brandon Trush. Bill Gentry still wobbling as they come down the backstretch. That's going to slow him up, and it's going to slow Brandon Trush up, who was right behind him. You see these guys round the corner here. Everyone racing hard as we are going to be coming into the end of the stage. Eric Warman really loose up at the front. Eric Warman been running up there in that second position most of this race. Then Chris Leftwich was able to get around and saw Kevin Thompson leading most of the race. And then Chris Leftwich going to take the lead as we head into the end of the stage. And right at the end of that stage, we have a caution. It is going to be Josh Cully.
So I believe the stage will be exactly what you see on the board here. Atwood in front of Leftwich. These cars are starting to get really loose. Nowhere for Stephen Bonomo to go.
That's the second time Steve Bonomo going to be caught up or almost caught up in a caution as you see Josh Cully go around there. But like you said, that is going to end our stage. There's some fortunate news for some of our drivers here and unfortunate news for some of our other drivers. Chris Leftwich going to take stage 1 here at Michigan. Congratulations to him and those 10 bonus points. Kevin Thompson going to finish second after leading the majority of the laps on stage 1. Gary Clune going to finish third. Nick Atwood going to be fourth. Mike Leftwich going to be fifth. Eric Warman sixth. Unfortunate for Eric there. Been right up there in second the majority of that first run. Chris Simon going to be seventh. Andrew St. Cyr going to be eighth. Justin McMahon going to be ninth. And Nathan Lawrence going to be 10th. Jamie Horn falls just out of the top 10 in 11th after we saw him get a little bit loose there toward the end of that run.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math right now on the point standing. I know these guys are coming into pit road, but that's going to actually push Simon to about 12 points behind Justin McMahon in the point standings right now. And actually move Eric Warman up 3 points. So Eric Warman padding that third place spot by about 22 points now. Justin McMahon holding on to fourth place by only 12 points at this point.
And I believe after watching that little race off of pit road right there, I believe we are going to have us a new race leader, and it looks like it is going to be the number 29 of Brent McCoy. Brent McCoy, who went to the back of the field after that first caution after he took the EOL for that one, is going to come back out off of pit road after the second caution of the evening. He is going to come off of there in first place. I mean, he got off of there really, really quick. Did he just take 2 tires there?
I'm not sure. There's a possibility he has pitted 3 times tonight.
I kid you not even a little bit here. I think he just gas and go'd.
Yeah, he's pitted 3 times already. Pull up the pit stop laps for you here. Last pitted on lap 6 though, so I mean that's still kind of a stretch.
Whew.
And he pitted about one lap before that as well.
Interesting strategy from Brent McCoy there. I mean, he must be very confident in how he's been saving tires because, I mean, we saw guys all over the place at the end of that stage and right before that caution came out. We saw a lot of guys out there getting really, really loose. So Brent McCoy electing to keep it on the older tires to get out to the front of the pack. He is going to be starting alongside Chris Leftwich. Kevin Thompson is going to be restarting third. Gary Clune fourth. Nick Atwood fifth. Andrew St. Clair sixth. Eric Warman 7. Mike Leftwich 8. Chris Simon 9. And Nathan Lawrence 10. As we see these guys get all stacked up and ready to restart, now you have a whole new set of problems for Michigan, which is fresh tires can be a little spinny, especially at the beginning of a run if you don't hit your gears just right. Let's see how these guys are able to handle the restart here as the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. We are underway. Green flag is in the air. Brent McCoy takes the green flag. And lap 29 is underway of 100 here in the Group 6 200. Good restart for Brent McCoy there. Gets a push off of the low side. Immediately goes to the high side. And Kevin Thompson already back up there challenging for that lead that he held so well for so many laps in that stage one. And look at him fighting behind him. We're going 3 wide at the front as Chris Leftwich takes it all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, makes a really nice pass on both Kevin Thompson and Brent McCoy. Chris Leftwich feeling himself tonight.
Look at Andrew St. Clair, though. Up 14 spots in 7th, still fighting his way forward behind his teammate Nick Atwood right now, who's following Gary Clune.
Had BMAC in the comments saying, looking good, BMP. Team BMP definitely came to play here tonight. Ooh, tight move there. Andrew St. Clair getting up the track right as Mike Leftwich was going down. Close call there, but everyone is just fine. Lots of good racing out of these guys here right now.
You see the slide job there by Mike Leftwich in front of Gary Clune. Clune just slides right back underneath him.
Gary Clune goes right back to the bottom. I believe Gary's actually going to make this pass here and get himself into third place. And I think Andrew St. Clair is going to try to follow in right behind him.
I will say this track more than others is very frustrating to enter on the low side because it is so hard to complete that pass if you enter low.
I mean, these guys out here going well over 200 miles an hour once you get into these front stretch and back stretches. I mean, you talk about it a lot, which is weird. Oh, we got trouble on the inside. Justin McMahon around. I believe Nathan Lawrence is going to be involved in that one as well. That is going to be Nathan Lawrence there as well. Both of them really able to keep it overall very clean. They both took a trip through the grass there, but not a lot of damage. Just Justin McMahon able to keep it straight and Nathan Lawrence able to keep it off the wall. Looks like 3 wide racing gone wrong right there.
Yeah, just very tight 3 wide racing. That's what happens when you get that tight. It's just hard being that meat in the sandwich there. So we'll go back right here. would like to kind of cut over to Nathan Lawrence's cockpit cam here. Nathan's coming out of the corner. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do. It's just hard to keep it as steady, and I think this track, more than other tracks, you don't realize how much you're kind of moving compared to that wall. That's just a racing deal right there in my book. Just McMahon fighting hard. He's a playoff driver trying to get a spot and move on up.
We've got a couple of guys that are going to go ahead and bring it down pit road here as well. Heard him talking over the radio there. Race admin Daniel Wilkerson asking if anyone needed an EOL for that caution. One of the things I love about the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League, these guys self-police. If you're the cause of a caution, then take a end of the line penalty. Daniel was asking if anybody was going to be taking the EOL for that. They were discussing whether it was a racing move or anything like that. And I believe it was John Novak that came over the radio. He was like, send them all to the back. I mean, hey, take any advantage you can. I respect it. But that is going to bring out our third yellow flag of the race here in the Group 6 200. Going to have 65 laps left to go. As it stands right now, 15 laps until our next stage on lap 50. But been an exciting night of racing so far in Michigan. Genuinely one of my favorite races to broadcast for. Always so much fun broadcasting here. These guys really, really talented. A lot of fun out here. And again, just want to say thank you to Group 6, not only for being our series sponsor all year long, but for also stepping up and being a race sponsor for us. We appreciate that very, very much, especially this late in the season. Shout out to Shoney's and Butt Kicker as well for being longtime friends and sponsors. And appreciate everybody once again for coming in here to hang out with us. I think we had 20-some people in here just a little bit ago. Got 17 people in here still. Everybody cheering in the comments. It's always great to see. Thank you for choosing to spend your Thursday night with us and these drivers out on the track as we start to bring our playoff season to a close here on Doghouse Racing TV. Make sure you don't miss our season finale and race championship next week at North Wilkesboro. Same time, same place here on Doghouse Racing TV. Hopefully a little bit earlier. Hopefully everybody's alarm clocks are working and all that good stuff. If you are choosing to tune in with us instead of the Thursday night football game, the Raiders are playing the Broncos. The Raiders currently winning 7-0 as they're about to close out the first quarter over there. But yeah, it was a weird day for Nap Daddy Racing up here in the booth for Doghouse Racing TV, because I had texted John earlier. Someone in my neighborhood, and by someone in my neighborhood, I mean some very intelligent AT&T fiber technician, cut the line that went into my neighborhood. My entire neighborhood, most of whom has the same internet I do, which is AT&T fiber, didn't have internet. My wife, who works primarily from home, called me in a panic asking how to fix the router, and I was like, well, unless you have a ditch witch and some wire splicers, I don't have much for you.
Grab a shovel.
Yeah, grab a shovel and your rubber gloves, because we're about to start playing with some electricity. But we're about to get back underway here at Michigan. Chris Leftwich going to be taking the green flag in first place here. Kevin Thompson, Mike Leftwich, Gary Clune, and Andrew St. Cyr going to round out your top five. They're gridded back up, and they're going to take the green flag here, and we are back to racing. Good restart there for Chris Leftwich, and he is going to be up in front. Mike going to be right behind him. It is a 1-2 Leftwich Shoney's Racing Team punch in first and second right now. Kevin Thompson trying to get his way around Mike Leftwich there on the high side. Andrew St. Cyr trying to follow along behind him. Still a lot of racing left here to do at Michigan.
Look at this back here, though. Michigan's such a fun track to race at.
I think you've gone on record as saying, I know normally you're not a over a mile-and-a-half track guy, but you really enjoy racing Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, Michigan's a lot of fun. Reminds me a lot of how Auto Club drives. Just how wide these corners are, and the way you kind of use the throttle to get through the corners, and you got to kind of slow down a little bit, but you don't have to slow all the way down. It's a fun change of pace. It is a good happy medium for me between, you know, like the very shortest of tracks, like a 5 flag Speedway, which I really love to race at, and then you go to the biggest tracks like Talladega, which is a little too much for me. So I think Michigan's a really good happy medium.
And these guys out here doing some really good racing right now. And the thing about Michigan I like too is that, you know, even though it is a big track, it's a 2-miler. I mean, it just seems like time flies at Michigan.
He's trying to save it. I'm trying to get to him. He saved it all the way down to the very last second. That was Kevin Thompson behind him. I don't think there was actually any contact made there. I think that's one of those things where you take the wind out from somebody pulling up on them just a little bit too quick. I was in a league race last night and had the same thing happen to me. Totally understand. It feels like you're getting hit in the back of the car, and you're really not. It's just the wind coming out from under you.
I was watching it back myself there, and I think that's exactly what it was there. I think Kevin Thompson had a big run there. I think Chris just got really, really arrow loose. Chris goes spinning into the infield, able to keep it, I believe, completely off the wall there. And he does actually, saves it completely. Definitely going to put some tear on those tires there. Not what you want at Michigan, and going to lose some spots. But Chris Leftwich, obviously so fast here tonight. Still definitely going to be in this race and still competitive.
I remember we had this little discussion a few races ago. I can't remember if it was here or with our other broadcast partner, Baker Knapp, but it's talking about when you spin out, is it better to hold the brake if you're by yourself like Chris was in this situation? Hold the brake and slide one section of your tires or a little small section all the way across that pavement, or just let it roll and hope that you can catch as much or not catch as much friction, but let as much tire contact the pavement as you're sliding through there. And I hate to tell you, I don't have an answer for you, but it's a good question to ask if you're thinking about what happens when I spin and how to save a little bit of tire there when it does happen, especially these tracks where we don't have a lot of tires we can take.
I don't have an answer to the question, but it's a good question.
I don't either, but I'm just, is it better just to wear off one patch, or if you're by yourself, just kind of let it roll a little bit, and hopefully you don't slide sideways, and hopefully you're sliding in one direction or rolling in one direction. But
saw a couple guys choose to bring it down pit road here. Chris Leftwich actually going to be able to stay out after that, but Tony Martin, Brent McCoy, Josh Cully, John Novak, Gary Armijo all choosing to bring it down pit road here. Josh Cully looking like he's still on pit road, actually.
And you know what's cool about this is I had a program on my computer for a while when we first started this whole broadcasting endeavor. A lot of fakes there. Andrew St. Cyr, who's been faking us out all season long. Mike Leftwich, Jamie Horn. But I had this program on my computer where I could draw on the screen like in old school John Madden with a yellow crayon in the booth. And it would be really cool, but it messed up a lot of the broadcast every time I tried to use it. Maybe we'll work on that for next season. Have a lot of good things in the works, a lot of good things in the books. Actually was doing a very deep dive on the history of not broadcasting, but the overlays in broadcasts themselves and how far they came along. Found out that if you're ever watching an NFL game and you see how they put the routes on the field very quickly, I'm not talking about what they draw, but it looks like a route that the guy is going to run, or the circle underneath his name, or his name tag above him as he's running. Those guys have 2 RFID tags in their shoulder pads, which is what you'll find in like your local Target inside of all the merchandise, so they can keep track if you walk out with something that starts beeping at the door. But they have those same tags inside their shoulder pads, and that lets the broadcast know through a computer system where everybody's at, with 140 antennas placed around every single NFL stadium.
Kidding.
The ball has an RFID tag in it. The pylons have RFID tags. The referees also have it.
So you're saying, because I know you're not supposed to, like if a football goes into the stands, you're not supposed to keep it. You're supposed to throw it back onto the field or give it to a referee or give it to a like a fan attendant or something like that. But you're saying if I just tucked that thing under my shirt and took off, technically they could come find me.
Yeah, if you're in touch with those antennas, they know where you're at inside the stadium at least.
Ugh. Guys, I'll be right back. I might have to go throw something away really quick.
Just go throw something over MetLife Field real quick.
I've got a big creek behind my house. I need to go throw something in that really quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that big secret technology they're always talking about inside the footballs is really just the same thing they're using at Target. I don't think it's that huge of a secret, but who knows? Maybe it's something different inside of there, but that's what they say is in there to keep track of everything. But going back to racing here, I'll be sure to drop some more fun facts because I got some good ones about how NASCAR actually paved the way for a lot of these overlays. But going green, Kevin Thompson getting out there in front, moving up to the top so he can get that big wide run into turn 1 here.
I was going to say somebody else that's trying to run away with something here is Kevin Thompson trying to run away with his win. We saw Chris Leftwich get the stage victory away from him. Kevin Thompson back up at the front. Now Mike Leftwich restarted in second. Already lost that position to Jamie Horn. Andrew St. Cyr working on taking third away now. They're kind of clumping up behind Andrew and Mike here. Gary Clune trying to find a lane to get through. Eric Warman trying to find a lane to get through. So Gary Clune might try to take it down all the way to the bottom of the track and take it 3 wide here as we go into, this is going to be turn 3 right here.
I hate to keep going back to this blip cam, but I think it just paints a really good picture about what's going on throughout the whole track. And look who's at the front. Your 2 points leaders, followed by your 3rd place in points, Eric Warman trying to catch up and get around Mike Leftwich.
Yeah, I got all of your top 3 in points battling right there. Jamie Horn sitting there fighting for 2nd and 3rd place right there. Side by side with Andrew St. Cyr. Side by side has been seeming like they've been fighting all season long. Kevin Thompson still leading this thing. Eric Warman trying to pushing Mike Leftwich through that top lane, and we have another yellow flag here, ladies and gentlemen.
That is Justin McMahon in the wall with, looks like, Bill Gentry back there.
And I was going to say right before that, Justin McMahon had been flying back through the field after being involved in that caution. Been making up a lot of time there.
I'm not sure if this is going to push us to our stage or not.
Don't believe this one is.
They might go green for a lap.
Couldn't quite tell there if McMahon was trying to come up or if Gentry was trying to come down, but either way, Bill Gentry ends up with his hood in Justin McMahon's right rear wheel well. Right rear wheel well. Say that 3 times fast.
Right rear wheel well. Right rear wheel.
Yep, right.
Right into the side of the wall there. Yeah, I believe Bill Gentry came down just a little bit there, coming off that back stretch.
Yeah, Bill going to tear up the side of that car there just a little bit. Justin McMahon going to get kind of stuck there, trying to keep from damaging that car too much more.
And I know it looks easy to keep a straight line, but you tell him you just got a wheel and some pedals and starting to get into your iRacing career here. So you're going to see Hunter back on the track pretty soon and maybe get him out here in the Doghouse Racing League on maybe a Tuesday night league sometime soon, or maybe even their Friday night league that's starting up this Friday, I believe. First race for the Next Gen Fix series as Andrew St. Cyr is bringing down pit road. I see Nathan Lawrence back there, Joe McKnight. That's Justin McMahon, Bill Gentry, Brent McCoy, Gary Armijo, and Josh Cully.
Yeah, I would definitely love to get involved. My racing career is not to the point yet where I would feel confident enough about running with some of these guys here. I don't want to be the cause of anyone's end of the night at any point. But gonna work on my skills a little bit. Like you said, these guys make it look easy to hold a straight line. It's not. And so I think I got a little bit more work to do. But yeah, I think it's fair to say that maybe on the upcoming Friday night league or in the Tuesday night league here before too long, you might see Nap Daddy Racing putting 2 cars out on the track. Normally, you can catch me and John up here in the booth on Thursday nights broadcasting, and then on Tuesday nights, John is on the track in the ARCA series. I believe you're having a good season so far, sitting top 5 right now, I believe, right?
Yeah, I fell back a little bit after last run there. Just McMahon was really been giving it to me over the past 2 runs. Able to squeak one away at Chicagoland last week, but this last race on Tuesday night was a little bit different for me. Just McMahon moving up in front of me in that point system, but that's going to be on Intensity Broadcasting on Tuesday nights. It's a really good time. If you're looking to join a league, I think that's a great place to start. I mean, it's a lot of fun racing. It's in the ARCA cars, and the ARCA cars are... These new ARCA cars are one of the easier cars I think there is to drive in the iRacing sim. I know we used to race the old ARCA cars, which were not so easy. I miss those things every single day.
These new ARCAs are kind of crazy. You see everyone out here getting gridded back up so we can get this thing back underway. Justin McMahon and Bill Gentry both still on pit road, getting some damage repaired. I think Josh Cully doing the same. Josh Cully headed back out there onto the track. Actually, right as I say that, I actually just got the message here. Justin McMahon has disconnected, so it might be the end of the night for Justin McMahon.
And nobody more excited about that than Chris Simon, who after that stage was only 12 points behind. So Chris Simon probably going to move up now into that 4th place spot, and now he's going to be in a battle with Eric Warman. So if my math is correct, I've got to add for the stages, but it's going to be about probably a 30-point difference between Eric Warman and Chris Simon. But these stage points are so crucial, where you can gain a whole 10 points just by winning a stage.
I bet we are going to see a scramble here on this restart. So I think you were right. I think you actually called it, that we are going to have 1 green flag lap to decide this stage.
It's exciting, too, because, I mean, Jamie Horn's about 100 points ahead of Andrew St. Cyr in the points. St. Cyr about 100 points in front of the 3rd place and Eric Warman. But that 3rd place spot still battle for a trophy, and it's going to be a tight one going into Wilkesboro. But lap 49, so these guys will go around 2 more times before the end of this stage, ending on the beginning of lap 51.
Oh, and I also definitely spoke too quickly. Justin McMahon back in the car. He's going to be a lap down, but he's also going to be the first car lap down. Oh, no, he spun it re-entering. Just not the night for Justin McMahon. We see these guys up here battling it out right now, though. As they cross the stripe on lap 50, end of the stage is going to happen as soon as 10th place crosses the line on this lap right here. Andrew St. Cyr out in front, Jamie Horn in 2nd, Mike Leftwich currently sitting in 3rd, Adam Thompson making a big push through the field right there. He was right on the bumper of Eric Warman trying to fight his way up. These guys are in a scramble to finish this stage.
It's going to be close. Andrew St. Cyr going to take that stage right there.
Good job by Andrew St. Cyr to hold off Jamie Horn. Andrew St. Cyr can be the winner of stage 2 here. Congratulations to him. Jamie Horn, Mike Leftwich, Gary Cooley, Eric Foreman, Adam Thompson, Chris Simon, Tyler Millette, and Daniel Wilkerson all getting bonus points there. Checking in with our drivers from that last caution. Bill Gentry still on pit road, getting some damage repair. That car is actually smoking quite a bit, so not sure how that's going to go. And then Justin, man, we saw get back in the car. I saw him disconnected, so I thought his night was done, and then saw him get right back in the car. And I think he spun the tires trying to get it re-entered. Ended up on the inside wall, and I think maybe he's called it good for good this time.
Mike Leftwich having a really good night tonight, running P3 right now, holding off Gary Clune. Clune falling about 2 spots from last week, from 7th to 9th in the points. And meantime, Adam Thompson's been moving up through the ranking system. I think he's sitting in 7th place in the points right now.
Definitely got some big movers up here in the field. I mean, Andrew St. Cyr sitting in first right now. Came all the way from the back of the pack. Gary Clune loose right there. Simon gonna have to go around, and Simon gonna complete the pass. Brent McCoy gonna get around as well. Chris Leftwich fighting his way back up through the field after spinning out several laps ago. And Gary Clune slipping back quite a bit right here.
And while this race season is coming to an end after the completion of North Wilkesboro next week, we're going to be back here for some Doghouse Racing action on December 11th for their Merry Christmas 300 race. Little league fundraiser. Going to be at Talladega. Be sure to check that out. That is going to be on Doghouse Racing TV, 7:45, December 11th. That is a Thursday. I believe
the contract negotiations are complete on that. That's gonna be a Nap Daddy broadcast.
It will be a Nap Daddy broadcast, but we will be doing here on the Doghouse Racing TV channel. Going to be a good time all around. I think I raced in it last year. A lot of guys come out with a lot of good Christmas schemes. I think there's actually a prize or a trophy for the best Christmas scheme as well.
I think they basically do like an ugly sweater contest, but with race cars. Which, if that's not a yeehaw good time, I don't know what to tell you.
I can't remember who won it last year. I know Justin McMahon got the best car last year. Coming out there with a Coca-Cola car, which was really nice.
Andrew St. Cyr and Jamie Horn up front battling this thing out. Seems like they go side by side, and Andrew St. Cyr able to pull back away. Adam Thompson now able to fight his way up. He's gotten around Mike Leftwich. So Adam Thompson now going to be sitting in 3rd place.
Now Jamie Horn trying to push for 1st place here. I think St. Cyr's going to have a good run here.
I was going to say, I think you were talking about it a little earlier. You can get a good run going in on the low side, but it's really tough to complete a pass down there because you're just able to get into the throttle so much quicker on the high side. But I think Jamie Horn's actually going to be able to go ahead and get it done right here. Jamie Horn going to take the race lead. Oh, I just saw somebody get really loose.
I just noticed how dented in Eric Orman's front bumper is there. Chris Simon now trying to move up behind Nicholas Atwood and take that spot away. And this is probably going to be the big points battle. Oh, Mike Leftwich loose down to the bottom side of the track. I think this Chris Simon, Eric Warman is going to be the big focal point going into North Wilkesboro. Let's see who's going to take that 3rd place spot. Chris Simon really needs a good run tonight. Get in front of Eric Warman to close that gap in just a little bit. Especially with Eric Warman taking both stages over Simon. He's going to increase that gap.
That car I saw get loose a few minutes ago and go down pit road was Brent McCoy. Mike Leftwich also going to go ahead and bring it down pit road as well. That is leaving Jamie Horn out in front of this race. He's actually been able to get a little bit of a lead here on Andrew St. Cyr, about half a second.
Yeah, look at Adam Thompson coming up, though.
Adam Thompson trying to get up there and make some moves happen. Looked like he was trying to use the low side of the track there for a second. Looks like he got a little loose, trying to get it back up the track, actually.
And here's Jamie Horn's cockpit view here. We got a in-car cam of Jamie Horn, and we also want to make sure that tonight that we are also promoting his OnlyFans account. As you can see, his OnlyFeets account. You see his feet there. I was supposed to have a QR code so you can go to his OnlyFeets page, but again, woke up just a little bit late. You kind of see how gentle you have to be. I actually love this shot right here of what his feet are doing, not just what his arms are doing. He scratches his head there, driving with one hand. He's got it under control, but you want to keep those feet very smooth as you go through here. You don't want to stab the throttle, don't want to stab the brakes. Ease it back into it. We appreciate that shot there that he's got provided for us. And again, we'll try to have that QR code for you for next week if you want to see more of Jamie Horn's feet.
I think you and Jamie have pretty similar racing footwear. Just I think he's racing in Hey Dudes there. Don't you race in Sperry's?
Yeah. I swear by it. I've tried racing in like tennis shoes. I've tried racing in barefoot, just socks. Nothing is as good to me as wearing a pair of Sperry's. Some Docksider action. Very flat pair of shoes. You know, not a lot of rubber between your foot and the pedal, but just enough to get you some grip and kind of have that feel. And I've seen a lot of people race with racing gloves on, and I can't say that I get it. And maybe it's just because my hardware that I use is a little bit cheaper, but I think footwear is definitely key. If you're not feeling the pedals right and everything, and some of these guys have haptics inside their footwear, which is a great time to thank our sponsor, Butt Kicker, right here. But they might have some haptics inside of those gas and brake pedals where the brake or the gas pedal will actually shake just a little bit, have a little vibration to it as the tires are spinning underneath the car if they're sliding just a little bit. So, little plug for our sponsor and Butt Kicker, which is really cool. And some drivers actually have that same vibration underneath the seat as well, where you can actually feel the seat vibrate some.
How cool is that, man? That is just the amount of stuff that people can do and set up into the ring just never ceases to amaze me. But one of the things that also amazes me is that Michigan's such a big track, but it really does just seem like time flies out here. I mean, already on lap 64 here, well over halfway through this race. I mean, just over an hour. I mean, it is kind of crazy how fast time flies at Michigan. Kind of also crazy how fast that lead pack is flying away. Jamie Horn, Andrew Sincour, all within half a second of each other. And you got to go about 2.5 seconds back to get to Nick Atwood, Gary Clune, and Chris Leftwich. Chris Leftwich able to fly back up into the mix, now sitting in 6th place.
I also have another driver cam for you tonight. A new one for you. Shout out to our lead admin, Daniel Wilkerson, providing his sim cam here tonight. Oh, there's a big wreck right there. We'll stick with Daniel Wilkerson to see him get around it. Gary Clune, Chris Leftwich into the wall. As you saw that vantage point from the admin, Daniel Wilkerson. Man, that was a great shot. Patting myself on the back for guessing correctly there where to be. I didn't even see if Daniel reacted to that. I would hate to see my face as that was happening in front of me, but let's see if we can rewind that to see exactly what happens. That brings out our 6th caution tonight, coming around to make it lap 77 here.
Gary Clune, Chris Leftwich, Tyler Millette. All going to be involved there. I believe it was Gary Clune and Chris Leftwich where that whole thing got started. And Gary Clune comes fly. I mean, Gary Clune went on a roller coaster. How many times did he spin right there? I heard Nathan Lawrence over the radio saying that he couldn't see poop. He said he couldn't see poop.
Tyler Millette gets involved in that as well, but let's back this up just a little bit. I don't think Gary Clune made any contact whatsoever. I think that's another thing that's just, you pull up quick behind a car like that, and that's kind of what happens. We'll try to zoom in just a little bit. So we'll watch Gary Clune go through the spin cycle here.
I mean, he's going to be,
Yeah.
he's got to go to the infield care center just for dizziness.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I will call that 10 spins there. 10 spin Clune.
I don't think he'd like that nickname.
We'll actually throw up a little graphic for him there. Gary Clune, 10 spins. Unfortunately, though, for Gary Clune, man, having a good run tonight, having a good run all season. We could start a spin record up here on the Doghouse Racing TV broadcast. And if so, I think he might win it. I think he might take the trophy on that. We could give him a little trophy of a washing machine. Also need to get a trophy of a lawnmower and count up our John Deere Green Awards.
Good pun, good pun.
Little superlatives here for the racing, but yeah, unfortunate seat for Clune. Clune's been having a very, very good season this year, and maybe not where he wants to be this year as far as finishing and points and everything like that. So he's fallen back just a little bit, but at the same time, it's exciting because you learn every single race, every single lap you turn, you learn something new. Really, whether you're just learning that tactile skill that you're building in subconsciously, or learning, hey, like maybe I shouldn't be at this spot at this race, or maybe I should be down here at this race. But going into next year, you kind of carry that stuff with you. And if you're like me, I mean, I kept a notebook, actually, not even joking. I kept a notebook for a while where I would write notes about certain things, like about certain tracks, about what grooves are best, even draw little pictures, like you should probably be at this line, and don't do this again. I'm also a notebook guy, though. I keep a notebook for everything.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. I've always got my racing notebook going. Mike Leftwich, able to get it off of pit road. Eric Warman also coming off pit road. We believe Gary Clune going to be calling it a night here. Brett McCoy has also called it a night. And I believe we saw Tyler Millette down on pit road getting some damage repaired. But after some pit stops there, looks like Nathan Lawrence electing to keep it out on the track here. So he is going to take your race lead here as we come back to the green flag here very, very shortly. I believe it's going to be lap 69. When we get this thing restarted, lights are off on the pace car. Kevin Thompson going to be restarting in second. Andrew St. Court in third. Adam Thompson going to be restarting fourth. Brandon Trush fifth. Joe McKnight sixth. Chris Simon seventh. Jamie Horn eighth. Daniel Wilkerson ninth. And Stephen Bonomo going to round out your top 10 as we get ready to get this thing back underway. Got no hate mail in the comments saying good driving. Let's go, Nathan. Nathan going to have to do a little bit of driving here. Not sure when the last time he came down pit road was, but he's going to be dealing with some older tires right here. He's going to be starting on the high side. Hoping to get a big push from Adam Thompson here. Yeah, they are underway.
Last time he came down, it's going to be lap 46, so he's been out for quite some time now on those tires, but trying to get up front and lead some laps. Nathan Lawrence, not a playoff driver, not off of performance itself this year, but I think just off the total amount of starts that he had and not get enough starts to build up enough points to get there. I think next year, if I was a betting man and we were going to put something on this, I would say Nathan Lawrence is going to be in your top 20 and a playoff driver next year. So excited to see him coming back and ripping it down on the track.
Yeah, 100%. Nathan, a little bit newer to the league, started the season a little bit late, but a really fun addition to the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. You see Kevin Thompson actually able to get around right there and take the lead back away from him, but Nathan's still up there competitive. Andrew St. Court battle on the other side. Nathan Lawrence really loose right there.
He's going to hold it, I think. What a save by Nathan Lawrence to hold that thing together.
Yeah, you talk about it again. Michigan just one of those aero tracks, man, where it can just get so loose on you so quick. I'm sure older tires didn't help Nathan's cause right there, but Nathan Lawrence, awesome save there to keep it off the wall, but going to lose a lot of spots.
Yeah, what I really think, if we want to have our little Nap Daddy Racing physics breakdown here, what I think is really happening there is you have that diffuser on the back of these next-gen cars that's keeping that air coming out pretty straight and in a uniform pattern. But when a car pulls up behind you, it really disrupts that air behind you and lifts that back end up just a little bit. And when that does, lighter weight in the back, you're going to start spinning just a little bit more there. Another guy that's similar to Nathan Lawrence, newcomer this year, Brandon Trush. He's been having a really good year. Also did not make the playoffs just based off how many starts he had. And I think he's a guy to watch out for next year as we're moving into this season and getting into next season. I'm going to try to revamp the broadcast and everything and have something good for you coming into next year.
100%. And I know Kathy Trush was in the comments earlier saying this is a home track for Brandon. Brandon kind of having to fight his way through the pack here for most of this race, but you can see him up there in 4th place right now. As you see, we have a lead change. Andrew St. Cyr getting around his teammate, Kevin Thompson. Kevin actually looking a little bit slower there on the track as Adam Thompson almost immediately able to get side by side with him. Going to try to use that high side to get into 2nd place. Brandon Trush also coming in pretty hot as well.
Yeah, and this Kevin Thompson, Adam Thompson right here is a points battle as well. These guys are right beside each other in points. Brandon Trush taking the low side on Kevin Thompson. And I was looking at it earlier after that pit stop, but Eric Warman does have that damage fixed on the front end. We saw him dropping back a little bit earlier, now pushing his way back towards the front to get around the 4th place in points driver, Chris Simon of that 21 machine. I do like that 21 car, but I'll tell you, I am very partial to his Shoney's 21, that red and white one. I like that car a lot.
It's a classic, man.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, snap loose bad for Kevin Thompson. Oh, when it comes to rest right in the middle of the track, good thing that caution came out so quickly. That could have been very, very dangerous for a lot of these guys. Kevin Thompson going to have to immediately tow. I mean, that thing snapped loose so hard on him. You saw him racing side by side there.
I'm sitting here waiting for the window net to go down, because that was a bad one there.
Yeah, it snapped. He was racing side by side with the 51 right there, Joe McKnight, and it just snapped so hard to the right on him, put him in the wall hard.
Sorry if you have any children or dogs at home. Make sure you cover both of their eyes, because this is graphic.
Josh Cully involved in that a little bit later as well. He's going to brush the walls. He's trying to get around Kevin Thompson. Actually just heard Adam Thompson come over the radio. Hey, I don't think he knew who it was, wreck, but he said whoever it was just in that wreck's going to need a helicopter.
Oh, they tried to get a helicopter there. There's 1 spin, 2 spins, 3 spins, 4, and 5. So not close to the record for Kevin Thompson there, but a lot of spins going on here. We got to have a superlative for this now. I know we've joked, but that is a terrible thing for Kevin Thompson. Out here running such a good race tonight, starting P2 on the track. Trying to make light of a bad situation. I know he's not very happy with it, but Adam Thompson able to move up there to the outside lane, going to be starting 2nd place. And I mean, Adam Thompson needing a really good run here as he's been just climbing through the points over the past few weeks. And I think if my math is right, he's moved up 4 spots in the past 2 weeks.
I believe your math is correct on that. And like you said, horrible thing for Kevin Thompson. I mean, been running a really great race here tonight. He'd been obviously had such a fast car, and just unfortunate to see Kevin needing a good points night. Finished 2nd in that stage.
Now,
unfortunate ending too.
This is what I like to do because I'm a very numbers guy, and stats and everything, but I keep looking over here at the scoreboard and the standings right here. If Adam Thompson were to win this race tonight, it is going to be a very, very, very close battle in North Wilkesboro. Not just between him and Kevin Thompson, but between him and your third place driver, Eric Warman, Justin McMahon. Third place, Justin McMahon, or fourth place, Justin McMahon. Fifth place, Chris Simon. I believe Simon's going to move up to fourth place after this run tonight, with McMahon being out, Kevin Thompson being out, so Adam Thompson will also move up in front of him.
B-Mac in the comments saying, oh my goodness, Spin City. So sorry, Kevin and Gary. Yeah, unfortunate endings for both of those guys, as Kevin Thompson has called it a night, as has Gary Clune. Josh Cully now down on pit road getting damage repaired along with Tyler Millette. Those guys both going to be going laps down here. I think Gary Armijo just getting it back onto the track after being on pit road.
Man, I don't want to pick favorites, but I would love to see these points drivers in Adam Thompson, Eric Warman, and Chris Simon all up there at the front. I mean, Andrew St. Cour's spot is secure. Really, in my mind, if I'm racing right now, those are the three guys that are fighting for that third place spot to secure that trophy spot. And I mean, if Adam Thompson takes this win, it gets a lot closer, and North Wilkesboro will be a lot of fun.
I mean, realistically, North Wilkesboro either way is going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be so much fun to be up in the booth for. I mean, Michigan's already been such a fun time up here. These guys are putting on a real good show here tonight in the Group 6 200. Again, our next to last race in the Group 6 Cup Series. One more race after this at North Wilkesboro to decide the season finale and the championship of the series. Got Kevin Thompson in the comments saying, that was a hard hit. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I got you.
Hope you're doing okay. Hope you don't have any whiplash off of that.
I don't think he's walking straight right now.
I was saying, I hope all of your appendages are still there. But the pace car makes that hard left turn, and we are back underway racing here at the Group 6 200 at Michigan. Big restart there for Andrew St. Cour. Using that low side to his advantage here. Adam Thompson trying to get a run on the high side. He's got Joe McKnight right behind him in the 51, giving him a big push. Brandon Trush on the low side, got Eric Warman behind him. They're trying to get going. Jamie Horn goes up. I think he was trying to work with Chris Simon, but Chris Simon goes low on him. Adam Thompson and Joe McKnight able to clear the rest of the pack. They've got to try to run down Andrew St. Cour here. 22 laps to go here at Michigan. A lot of action behind them. These guys still absolutely battling it out for position here.
I'm telling you, exit speed here is going to be a big, big thing. Your exit speed determines a lot. It reminds me a lot of Pocono when you're coming around turn 3 there. And that can really make or break your lap time depending on how fast your exit speed is here. So, I mean, you can get into the corners as quick as you want to. But I'm always a slow in, fast out kind of guy. Which I guess is a good dinner date. Maybe not. I'm trying to think of the opposite one there, but
either way. Got Kevin in the comments again saying it snapped right so fast. We were talking about it earlier, man. I mean, Michigan's such an aero track, and it just seems like Michigan, more than a lot of other tracks where you just see the aero get messed up or cars snap out or just kind of snapping out, especially after the last couple iRacing updates. That snap loose effect can just get so crazy and just really worked to Kevin's detriment there. I mean, just absolutely hammering that outside wall.
yeah, with these open setup cars too, you can kind of adjust some of these cars with the roll bar that you have, and kind of a stiffer bar or a softer bar. And when you get that combination just right between the front and the back, Joe McKnight getting really close to Adam Thompson. When you get that combination just right, the car
runs wide up at the front there for a second.
Yeah, that car runs great when you get that combo right between soft and hard in the front and the back, but sometimes it can make the car snap loose.
Joe McKnight and Joe McKnight, Adam Thompson, and Nick Atwood going 3 wide there for a second. They're all up there battling for that second place position right now. Andrew St. Cyr able to get away to a little bit of a lead here. Got 0.4 of a second over Adam Thompson right now. Looks like Joe McKnight might have gotten a little bit loose right there. We have another caution behind him.
That's going to be Chris Leftwich, Tony Martin. I wonder if these guys have any tires left up here at the front. And if so, do you even take them at this point?
I am not sure. Especially if you're up front, I think you got to do whatever the rest of the guys up front do, because you don't want to get stuck back in the pack trying to fight your way forward too much at Michigan. I mean, there's still 18 laps to go. You can fight your way back through it in 18 laps at Michigan for sure, but I just really don't think you'd have anything left under it to do anything with once you get up there. Heard Nathan Lawrence actually coming over the radio saying that Tony was getting loose and that he thinks he finished him off. So Nathan Lawrence going to be taking a EOL here on this next restart. Tony Martin been having a pretty good night up until that point as well. Worked his way into the top 10 after starting in 16th place. I'm very curious to see what these guys decide to do here pit road wise, because I mean, you can tell guys we're starting to get a little slippy slidey as these tires get older here. Saw Adam Thompson get loose on that last run. Saw Joe McKnight get really loose, almost lose a couple of spots.
Going to see a bunch of guys coming in here. As you see Brandon Trush on your screen there with the at-home cockpit camera.
I think we said it a few races ago, but Brandon got a really good RGB setup in there. I like it.
Yeah, really good RGB. I think Justin McMahon's another one of those that has a good RGB setup in the background.
I believe we had almost everyone choose to bring it down there. Nathan Lawrence electing to stay out, but he is going to be getting an EOL following that caution. I believe Mike Leftwich going to keep it out. That is going to move him up to the front.
Joe McKnight
got John
beat Adam Thompson off pit road.
So I believe your starting group here is going to be Mike Leftwich, John Novak, Gary Armijo, and then behind them, I believe you're going to have Andrew St. Cyr, you're going to have Joe McKnight, Adam Thompson, Jamie Horn, Nick Atwood, Eric Warman, Brandon Trush. This is going to be a fun restart. Just heard Mike Leftwich come over the radio say he is going to be taking the outside on this restart. And John Novak
I'm not sure what's going on here.
I think we're trying to get him. We're trying to get him reorganized here. Mike Leftwich called high for the restart. And then John Novak, I think he was calling for an EOL. They're not going to give him an EOL because he didn't do anything. But I think John Novak not wanting to be where he is on old tires.
Yeah, that's understandable. I actually had a whole conversation last night about with another league admin from a separate league, because they give EOLs just off request, and I was like, that's not really fair, because people can just qualify wherever, and if they don't get the spot they want, they just call for an EOL. We'll start at the back.
Yeah,
Especially
for sure.
Daytona, Talladega. That's where those things kind of come to key at. But a lot of leagues now requiring you to actually put down qualifying laps in order to run the race, but there's also ways around that as well. But we are about to get back green flag racing. Mike Leftwich on that high side having control of the restart, getting a nice jump out there. St. Cour getting a really good follow. You see Gary Armijo jumping down to the bottom of the track early.
Wanting to be where he was, you're definitely going to see a lot of hard racing here as these guys battle for position. 15 to go here.
There's Novak.
Oh, these guys are shuffling around a lot. John Novak going to the bottom, trying to get out of the pack as well. Andrew St. Cour back to the lead of this thing. Mike Leftwich going to be in second. Joe McKnight diving down to the bottom of the track. He's going to be racing with Mike Leftwich. Adam Thompson getting a push as well.
Oh,
Adam going to take it three wide. And I think he might get it done, too. He's got a little help with a push from Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn going to take it right back down to the bottom of the track. That's fun.
I thought Atwood was going to go 4 wide there for a second.
That's fun racing right there. Yeah, no hate mail in the comments. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't know what an EOL is. Kevin Thompson with the explanation, end of line. Yeah, so one of the things that the Group 6 Cup Series Doghouse Racing does is if you are the cause of a caution, then you call an EOL, which is end of line, which means you go to the end of the longest line. So, for example, if you were in 13th and you caused the caution with someone who was in 12th, you would go to the end of the longest line, which in this case would be 16th place. Because after that, cars are a lap down.
Joe McKnight getting loose, going to the bottom, and having such a good run tonight. He's going to fall back behind Brandon Trush. Daniel Wilkerson squeezing around.
Steve Bonomo going to do the same there.
And right now we have 13 to go, 12 at the stripe, and it is Andrew St. Cour out by almost half a second. Adam Thompson trying to close that gap and get a win, move himself up in the points. Yeah, that's
Jamie Horn back there in third place. Mike Leftwich trying to battle back and get into the top 3, but Nicholas Atwood trying to get up there as well. You got Eric Warman and Brandon Trush within striking distance. Daniel Wilkerson, a man on a mission right now. As you see him get around Chris Simon, that's going to be for 8th place. Joe McKnight gets really loose.
Oh, snaps into the wall.
He's around it in the wall. Joe McKnight got really, really loose there.
Does a good job pulling it in reverse and getting off the track and out of the way there.
Not quite able to save it. So unfortunate. Joe McKnight having such a great run tonight. I think unfortunately I've seen that happen to Joe a couple times this season where he's just got an incredibly fast car. And then sometime in the late going, it just goes wrong.
The pace car is sliding around the apron of the track there to get to the front. He's put him in the show.
That caution was not what Andrew St. Cour wanted, but it might have been what Adam Thompson wanted.
Only 2 spins there for Joe McKnight. Gary Clune still holding the cake for that one. Yeah, but Andrew St. Cour has just been so fast on these short runs. I've seen Adam Thompson catch up with St. Cour about 2 times tonight. Both times were on a little bit older tires, but it is going to be a battle. I think if there's anybody that can do it, it's this top 3 right here. But also Mike Leftwich just giving it to him up there at the front. Sitting in 4th place right now. Eric Warman sitting in 6th place, right behind Nicholas Atwood in that 91 machine. Brandon Trush in 7th. Daniel Wilkerson 8th, and Chris Simon 9th. Steve Monoma rounding out your top 10.
I was going to say, as fast as this top 3 is here, but I mean, Andrew St. Croix, Adam Thompson, Jamie Horn, that's a crazy fast top three, but I mean, you've also got a very motivated group directly behind them that would really, really like to be able to battle their way into the podium spots here tonight. And I can definitely expect a lot of racing here to try to close this thing out.
Yeah, Jamie Horn there at the bottom of your screen. Got the luck of the doggos in the background. You just saw one coming off screen there. I believe there was 2 of them in that shot. There's a puppy. Gotta pet the dog.
Is that a Celsius?
Was that a what?
Was that a Celsius he was drinking? I couldn't tell what he was drinking. I saw him reach for a beverage there, but...
I accused Jamie Horn of doing smelling salts here in race. So I don't want to pick anything. I believe it was chapstick, but it looked like he was just taking a good old hit of the smelling salts like an NFL linebacker before a play.
It's like you can never tell. I mean, especially with these cameras, you can't tell like what people are like reaching for or what they're going for. It's like that could have been a Celsius, that could have been a Natty Light. I really don't know, but either way, it seems to be working for him because Jamie Horn been able to fight his way all the way back up to the front here. Andrew St. Croix electing to take the high side here for this restart.
Yeah, and
Andrew saying that he's concerned about it snapping loose, that he feels like his right rear is overheated, but also knows that he really has that short-term speed, and he's going to need it to battle off Adam Thompson here in the late going.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Adam Thompson, too, I'm kind of swinging for the fences, putting it all on the line here. You're in a good spot to move up quite a bit in points to try to chase down Eric Warman, Chris Simon, Justin McMahon, Kevin Thompson in front of you. Andrew St. Croix blinking out for just a second there. That's a little scary, but I mean, I think if you're Adam Thompson, especially hearing that, like, we're going for it. We're full send here. No half sends. You know, big third down here.
Big third down here, but I mean, you've got a lot of fast guys up here. I mean, Andrew St. Croix been unbelievable on restarts this year. I mean, between him and Jamie Horn, I've seen so many great restarts out of the both of them, so quick off the line. If you're Adam Thompson, you need to trust it. You need a big restart here. You need to hope Jamie Horn stays right behind you and that y'all can push and get a lane going quickly. We're about to see what happens here. Lap 93, when we cross the stripe, we are going green. That's a really good restart for Andrew St. Croix. Adam Thompson got that push he needed from Jamie Horn, but now Jamie going to take it low all the way to the bottom of the track. Nick Atwood going to be sticking to that low lane. He's going to be right behind Jamie Horn. Mike Leftwich still trying to get the wheels back under it fully. He's got Eric Warman behind him. Adam Thompson able to clear Jamie Horn there. That's 1, 2, 3, Andrew St. Croix, Adam Thompson, Jamie Horn as we come into lap 94, this time by Nick Atwood, able to clear Mike Leftwich to get into 4th place. Mike Leftwich sitting 5th. Eric Warman on the outside looking in.
I got Nathan Lawrence back there. Oh,
Andrew St. Croix around.
Into the wall, caution's out. He just talked about it. No way.
Based off of what he said there again, I'm able to hear the driver radios. We don't put that over the air for reasons. And I think Andrew St. Croix was saying something, trying to put 2 and 2 together, given what we saw happen to Kevin Thompson as well. And we saw these BMP cars so fast here tonight. But Andrew St. Croix said that he was really worried about heating up that right rear and felt like something might snap loose. And then he said something about when Adam Thompson got within a couple car lengths, he just felt the air change in the right. It just snapped on him. And he said there's something about this set that just snaps.
Yeah, and
so I'm wondering
that's a good
with
point.
the set that Team BMP used tonight, obviously very, very fast. They had a lot of those guys that were doing so well tonight. Kevin Thompson leading a lot of laps. Andrew St. Cyr doing so well. I'm wondering if something in their set just really messed with their aero.
Yeah, and that's actually a very, very, very good point, because that is Gary Clune, Kevin Thompson, and Andrew St. Cyr now at this point, all presumably running that same set. And what's also what I'm seeing now is I believe that Adam Thompson and Jamie Horn run a same set as well. I know Eric Warman is a premier guy. You would think that Nick Atwood is running that same BMP set. I'm not sure about the Shoney's race team.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Mike Leftwich now getting over the radio saying that he's concerned about his tires. We will see how this fares toward the end of this run. You raise a good point. I was like, I don't know if BMP creates their own, or if they run a setup like you said. You would have to assume that Nick Atwood's running the same setup as they are, and I mean he's to this point doing just fine. I believe both Adam Thompson and Jamie Horn are Ryko drivers.
Yeah, and generally when you get a setup from somebody else like Ryko or Premier or McConey setup shops, is you get the setup with the team. Your team will usually provide that for you, and then you make small adjustments to fit your driving style just a little bit better. As for me, I liked a lot of differential load on the back. It was just a small little thing because I like to be able to push the gas and feel the back end kind of kick a little bit when I do hit the gas. So that's something I know I would always change. Into some other drivers like their springs to be a little stiffer, a little softer in certain areas, but always it's all going to be very similar. But
Andrew St. Cyr looking like he's still keeping it on the track, getting caught up to the back of the pack right now. Wonder if he's still going to be able to find some speed in that machine. BMAC in the comments saying, oh dear, so sorry, son. And okay, Nick, it's up to you. As we are just going to have, I believe, going to be 3 to go. Once this pace car pulls off, Adam Thompson electing for the low side here on this restart. Jamie Horn going to be on the high side. Nick Atwood going to be behind Adam Thompson. Mike Leftwich going to be behind Jamie Horn. Something to keep your eye on here. We heard over the radio before we got lined back up that Mike Leftwich said that he thinks he's on about 7-8 lap older tires than these guys up at the front, and he's a little concerned about him at this point. And we've seen what older tires, what kind of chaos that has caused tonight so far. So hoping for a green flag run all the way to the end, hoping for good racing, but we will see what happens. And see some of these guys keeping it very, very straight as we go into this restart. You saw Nick Atwood looking like he was trying to warm him up a little bit. But what a battle you have up front between Adam Thompson and Jamie Horn. Adam Thompson needing a really big restart here to try to match up with Jamie Horn, who's been so fantastic on restarts this year. Does Adam Thompson have any magic in his pocket? Looks like he goes for a little bit of a later restart. 3 laps to go after we cross the stripe there. We're going to have a battle all the way to the end here. Adam Thompson using that low side to try to clear Jamie Horn. I think he's going to have it clear on this straightaway. Jamie Horn going to be right behind him. Nick Atwood going to be on the inside of Jamie Horn. Mike Leftwich, Eric Warman.
Oh, Eric Warman taking it a little bit lane higher. Right to the door. Mike Leftwich. Adam Thompson.
Oh, Jamie Horn really loose.
3 wide, 3 wide. Here we go.
Jamie Horn got really loose there. That's going to allow Eric Warman to actually get around, and Nick Atwood. Jamie Horn going to go to 4th place. Chris Simon coming in fast.
Eric Warman has a run.
Eric Warman has a run. Looks like Jamie's got the tires back under it. He's trying to make a move. Jamie's going to be able to use the high side to get back around Nick Atwood to get into the top 3. White flag out next time by. What a battle we are going to have at the end of this thing. Eric Warman doing everything he can to keep Jamie Horn behind him. Jamie Horn goes to the high side. Eric Warman tries to throw a block and does. White flag in the air. Adam Thompson still in the lead. Jamie Horn going to the low side.
Look at Jamie Horn. He's on the inside there. I don't know if he's going to have the
Jamie
run
Horn.
off.
Jamie Horn going to be on the inside of Eric Warman. Eric Warman able to get a good run off the high side, able to maintain that spot. Nick Atwood looking for his lane behind Jamie Horn.
Here he
Jamie
goes.
Horn goes hard to the inside again. He's going to have a little bit of help from Nicholas Atwood. Nicholas Atwood to the bumper of Jamie Horn. No place to go for Nicholas Atwood. Jamie Horn trying to hold him off. Adam Thompson still in front. Going to take the victory at Group 6 200 at Michigan.
Eric Warman
What a
took
battle
that
at the end.
by 100.
Good racing. What a run. Eric Warman and Jamie Horn in a battle. Nick Atwood fighting it out till the very end. Chris Simon with a huge run at the end to get himself into the top 5 over top of his Shoney's Racing teammate, Mike Leftwich. Brandon Trush coming home in 7th. Nathan Lawrence in 8th. Andrew St. Cord able to get back up into 9th place, and Daniel Wilkerson gonna slip back to 10th. But Adam Thompson gonna get it over to that Firekeepers checkered lane and gonna burn it down after a well-deserved and earned victory. What a run out of Adam to close this thing out in the last couple of laps. Well-deserved burnout there for Adam Thompson after that victory. Going to pull down onto that checkered flag. What a victory and what a run for him it was. I know him and Eric worked together very, very well. So Eric Warman coming down there to give him a big congratulations. Eric Warman able to hold off Jamie Horn by 1/100th of a second to take home 2nd place. Got some congratulations coming in here. Kathleen Trush saying go number 98 for Jamie Horn. BMAC saying congratulations to Adam and saying good for Andrew with a top 10. And Andrew St. Cora, I didn't think he would have any speed left in that thing, able to fight his way back up and get into the top 10. But what an exciting race it was here at Michigan. Pull up your final standings for you here.
Yeah, behind Jamie Horn in that 3rd place spot, Nick Atwood, Chris Simon, Mike Leftwich, Brandon Trush, Nathan Lawrence, Andrew St. Cour, Daniel Wilkerson rounding out your top 10. I got Steve Bonomo, Tony Martin, John Novak in 13th, Gary Armijo in 14th, Tyler Millette finishing in 15th, Joe McKnight 16th, Chris Leftwich 17th, and Josh Cully in 18th tonight. So we kind of move on down the list here. Kevin Thompson coming home in 19th. Gary Clune 20th. Brent McCoy 21st. Bill Gentry 22nd. Justin McMahon 23rd. And Richard Leclerc rounding out the field tonight. What an incredible finish there. That was a lot of fun there at the very end. I know a lot of these guys are battling tires and working through it, but we're going to try to get these guys up to the booth to hear their thoughts on it, and we will be right back. And we are back here on the Doghouse Racing TV channel. Do have your top three up here in the booth. First, coming up, I have your third place finisher in Jamie Horn. So pull him up here. Jamie, you got a copy of this in the booth? You got a copy of this, Jamie?
I do.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on third place. Gave it a run there at the end, coming in third by only a hundredth of a second behind Eric Warman. Talk to us about that last run there and trying to get yourself into that second place position.
Yeah, I was really hoping on that final restart, Adam was going to choose the outside because I could wrap that bottom really good on restarts and really work my way through everybody real quick. So I was hoping he was going to take the outside, and he did not. So and then when we were coming out of four, I had a good run, but I got really tight, and I was too afraid I was going to push up into it, so I lifted and I about lost. I don't know how many positions. I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Oh, there's a freight train coming," but was able to gather it back up there and bring it back home in third. It was just just a eventful night. We'll call it that.
Yeah, eventful for sure. A lot of people snapping loose tonight. I think that you and Adam Thompson are on the same setup. I think you guys both use Ryko or Ryko derivative setup. Tell us about how that snap loose effect was affecting people out there, and were you ever worried about it for your car?
No, yeah, me and Adam are on the same. I never had that happen. I overdrove one time in one and two and kind of drifted around at one time, but for the most part, I never felt that. Like, if anything, I was crazy tight, and I was worried about whenever I'd get tight if the rear wheels would catch her and kind of sling me, but I never really had that happen at night. I wish it was a little bit freer on 3 and 4. One and two is great. Just we were both talking 3 and 4 about center. We were extremely tight, but that was crazy between or whenever Kevin Thompson snapped like that. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it seemed like that whole BMP team. I'm assuming they're all in the same setup or very similar setup between St. Core, Clune, and Kevin Thompson. There, all had that snap loose effect happen to them tonight. Nick Atwood able to avoid that, but heading to North Wilkesboro next week, you kind of have a firm grip here on the first place spot in the championship, and trying to get your thoughts on North Wilkesboro. What do you think about it? What's your strategy going in, knowing you have a pretty good lead out here?
So we're gonna go and try to get the win. At this point, I don't think anything could cost the championship, so gonna go try to get a win. I really like Wilkesboro. Is probably one of my more favorite tracks. Any shorter track I really like, so I'm looking forward to it, and probably won't see much strategy next week. I'll just drive, and I was a little more cautious tonight because I didn't want to get taken out early or anything like that, and not try to get some stage points. But next week, I don't look to be too worried about stage points, and it'll just be a battle for the win, and I'm sure it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I got to make sure you keep it clean so you can do that burnout there at the end for the championship. But before I let you go tonight, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Oh yeah, give a shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Love what y'all done this season with that, and have really grown. So really enjoy watching that. Shout out to Group 6 for sponsoring the series. Um, Nap Daddy Racing, uh, SSR Designs, Butt Kicker, everybody, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, everybody that helps keep the league going. Shout out to Adam on the win. Glad to see him get a win, and you can tell him I said I'm pretty sure he had something, uh, cheat code or something in his car when he gets up there, because we had the same setup and he beat me, so he had to be cheating. Just tell him that. Congrats to Eric Corman too. He's run really strong this season. Hate it for Andrew. He was having a really good run. I've had a blast battling with him all season long for the championship, and I hate to see at the end of a race kind of lose it like that. But uh, we all have those times where luck's not on our side. Shout out to Daniel and all the admins for everything they do for the league. Shout out to my team and my mom watching at home.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again on third place, and looking forward to talking to you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Yes.
It's going to be Jamie Horn bringing it home in third place tonight. Very close to your second place finisher in Eric Warman, who I'm about to pull up here right now, as I'm trying to drag him up to the booth here. But Eric, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Eric, you got Hunter up here in the booth, man. What a run for you here. Congratulations on second place. Talk to me about those last couple of laps. Not only trying to catch your teammate Adam Thompson, but also trying to hold off Jamie Horn. Talk me through those last 3 laps and what was going through your head.
Honestly, just try not to wreck it. But when we got that restart coming out of 3 and 4, I wasn't expected to go 3 wide. I don't know what happened. All I know is like everybody slowed up and I didn't have anywhere to go except for the middle, and that's why we went 3 wide. And like, oh Lord, didn't want to do this. Then came out on the front stretch. We were in P2, and honestly, we were just trying to. I was just trying to arrow grief Jamie a little bit, and that way Adam could get the win, and hopefully we could run P2.
Well, P2, you did take here tonight, man. Wanted to ask you as well. We were having a conversation in the booth as this thing went on. It seemed like Team BMP might have had something going on with their setups here tonight because they were just having crazy snap loose effect. I know you drive for Premier. Talk to me about your setup tonight, and did you ever feel like you were going to run into that snap loose effect, or how was your setup treating you tonight throughout the run?
Well, I had that happen, I think, just after the first stage or right at the first stage. I was like running third and like snap kind of loose on me on coming out of 2. That's why I dropped back to 6. I ended up having to tighten it up. Like all the setups been really snappy coming out of the corner, and they're well, thankfully we tightened it up. But the weird thing is, I think there's a glitch going on in iRacing. Every time I went to go and do my adjustments, they went back to default. They weren't still in there.
Oh, no. Well, either way, man, still really good run for you here in second place. I know you're in a points battle for that third position in the championship. Talk to me about next week, North Wilkesboro, and how you like your chances there.
I'll be honest with you. I used to like the track. I'm not sure about this new layout. Still trying to get used to it. The old layout I kind of liked versus this, but it's gonna be a rough race. So it's just gonna have to try to stay out of trouble and do our best to be in a position and just hope and pray for the best. Be honest.
100%, man. Have all the confidence in the world in you to get it done. But before we let you go and celebrate this second place here tonight, you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
I want to thank our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank my wife and kids for letting me do this. Thank for Premier for giving us the setups. If you guys are looking for setups, definitely check them out. You get for the Cup cars, there's 2 builders for it, so basically get 3 setups for the price of 1. And I want to thank all the sponsors for the league, you guys for the broadcast, and definitely want to thank my teammate Adam there and congratulate him for his second win in the Doghouse Racing League.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on second place. Looking forward to seeing you at North Wilkesboro next week, and hope you have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, you guys as well.
Take care, man.
You too.
That's going to be Eric Warman bringing it home in second place tonight with a really good run there at the end. Thought he might have a little something for his teammate in Adam Thompson, but Adam Thompson able to just pull it out as we try to pull him up here now to the booth. Adam, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir. How you boys doing?
I'm doing great, man. Congratulations, first off, on the win. You had a car and a half tonight, chasing down St. Cour there for a while before all the cautions started to come out, and then at the end, able to get past him there. He had a little spin there and able to get past and secure the win, hold off Eric Warman, Jamie Horn. talk to us about those last 25 laps and what was going through your head.
Yeah, the car was pretty squirrely tonight, like more than I've felt in a while. If someone packed air on you or was on your outside, it wanted to suck you around. And I don't know if you noticed. I know you asked about the last 25 laps, but I started the race off saving because if you went hard, you burnt your tires up. In fact, in practice, in 15 laps, I was down to 80% on both right tires, which is I feel like it's a lot in 15 laps. So I started off really slow, trying to save to kind of see how that would play out more for the end of the race. But we kept getting cautioned, so that it's kind of backfiring on me. So I eventually decided just to start going a little bit harder. I could rip 1 and 2 like no issues, but 3 and 4 was terrible. And yeah, so coming into 1, I think it was Jamie that was behind me and he got me a really good push up to Andrew, and then yeah, packed the air on his butt and spun him. And then yeah, we just kept going. Well, did you see that Jamie got into my left rear a little bit? I don't know, was
I
that
don't
2 or
think
3
I saw
laps ago?
that.
Yeah, so I mean, just barely got into me, but it caused him to, he lifted because he didn't want to take me out, and that's what saved me because he would have beat me. I don't know. Everyone could rip 3 and 4 way better than me. I was so tight center off. So because he got into me, he lifted. That's what won me the race because he would have had it, no doubt.
Well, he was saying that you were using a cheat code because y'all were using the same setup, and there's no way you could
Yeah,
beat him with that. So I just wanted to relay that information there before I forget. So,
he did come over and say, "I told him you were cheating."
well, hopefully you pass some post race inspection there and everything like that. But this win tonight definitely moves you up in the points. I think you've moved up 4 spots, maybe in the last 2 to 3 weeks, through the point standings. And I'm not really good at what the math's going to be at right now, but I think it's going to come down between Eric Warman, Chris Simon, and you around that 3, 4, 5 spot, battling for that 3rd place position, going into North Wilkesboro next week. So give us your thoughts on that. What's the strategy? Are we out here to win a bunch of stages and hope to get some points early? Are we out to win the whole thing?
Well, now that you say that, yeah, shoot. I mean, I came in today in 7th, so I didn't even think the win was really going to help me that much. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Surely that won't get me fighting for 3rd. I guess, I mean, maybe it will, if I could come out and win it next week. I don't know. Like you said, I can't do math, so, and I don't have it in front of me anyway. But yeah, I mean, I guess good point. I need to go out for those stage wins next week too.
Yeah, absolutely. Stage wins here are so crucial. I mean, it was a large gap, almost maybe 80 points, maybe coming into the night's race, but definitely a win helped you out. I'm not sure if you picked up any stage points or if you did, how many you got, because I know Eric Warman did pick up a few there, but
I bet I didn't because like I was hanging back a lot.
yeah, I know Thompson not having a great night, McMahon not having a great night as well. I kind of think you're going to move up in front of them, but I'm not entirely sure on how it's all going to shake out. But we're just trying to make it interesting, stir up some drama, poke a stick at something, see what stirs up as we
Yeah,
get
all right,
into
I'm
the
going
final week.
after him. That's it. The drama starts now. They're all on my list.
Well, we don't want no bad drama, we just want some good
No,
old
I know.
at-home
It's a
classic
good
drama there.
reason.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you guys gave us tonight there at the very end. I did want to ask, did you ever have a chance at the end that you thought that I've got this in the bag, or were you kind of thinking the whole time maybe this might not work out?
No, to 100% didn't think I had it in the bag. Like I said, 3 and 4 was so bad for me that. Well, I wish you could have heard I told Eric, I'm like, I'm scared. I don't, because that's how bad 3 and 4 was. I'm like, I don't think I can hold you guys off. And again, I wouldn't have. I would not have held them off had Jamie not lifted. No joke. He was on my inside. He was going to go right on by. So yeah, I was nervous.
Well, hey, man, still a win is a win, and picking it up here at Michigan. But before I let you go, any sponsor shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to Ryko for the set. Shout out to Doghouse for putting this on every week, and shout out to you boys as always for putting on a good show. I can't wait to listen to this one.
Absolutely, and I do have the point standings here. So you did, I think, this is up there. I'm pretty sure it's up there. You're still in 7th place now, but only 4 points behind Kevin Thompson in 6th, and I believe you're going to be 31 points behind Just McMahon in 5th. So still a chance to at least get that top 5. I think you got quite a bit to go to get to that 3rd place spot, but again, we're just trying to trying to shape a story here, you know.
Cue up the drama.
Yeah, I mean, take everybody out, be the only one to.
I'm
be the
wrecking them
last one.
all.
Yeah, just be the last one to finish there, so it might work out.
Yeah, good. Well, you guys doing all right up there?
Oh yeah, just trying to hang in there.
Hunter, you're quiet.
Just hanging out, man. Listening to the drama that John's trying to stir up. It's
He's trying
Yeah.
hard.
yeah, he's really shaping the storyline. Just get him some soap opera music and some big hair, and we're there, man.
Yeah,
I'll make a crazy post on Discord here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to channel my inner what's his name, the WWE commissioner. I'm blanking on the guy's
Oh
name.
yeah. What is his name? Goofball.
I don't want to say McMahon
Yes.
because I'm
McMahon?
thinking of just McMahon. Right
It's
now.
not. That's who I was thinking of.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Vince. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm trying to just do everything I can and get every Harry Potter spell I have so we can have a little bit of a storyline here at the end. You know, nothing bad, just good old fashioned racing. Let's see who's going to race it out to the very end. But excited for you for next week to try to go out there and keep on moving up in the points and especially improving on this run next year, coming back into the next season. But congratulations again on the win tonight, and looking forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you, boys. I hope you have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You too.
Hey, man,
All
take
right,
care.
see you next. All right, brother. We'll see you next week.
It's going to be Adam Thompson, always giving a fantastic interview. And I know I'm kind of trying to stir the pot just a little bit, but again, not like negative stir, like you need to go out and wreck them. But, you know, try to see who's going to be close in points, what we're looking at, who's going to be the big battles we want to watch
Make it
out
fun,
for.
you know.
Yeah, it's always fun that last race, and you know you got to be somewhere and be in a certain spot to get it. So definitely going to be a fun one here next week on Doghouse Racing TV starting at 7:45. We're going to be at North Wilkesboro for the final race of the season. I do believe that Jamie Horn might have it in the bag as I'm trying to check the point standings right now, where it looks like he is about 107 points in front of Andrew St. Cour. And Andrew St. Cour is going to be 184 points in front of Eric Warman. No, I'm sorry, that's not right. 77 points in front of Eric Warman. And Chris Simon about 40 points behind that, but still a chance to do something, make something shake. Just McMahon falling back to 5th place tonight as Chris Simon takes that 4th place spot. McMahon's going to be only 8 points behind Chris Simon. That's going to be a fun one to watch out for too. So definitely some battles going on here late in this season as we head to the last race next week. Again, 7:45 Eastern time right here on Doghouse Racing TV. And if you want to catch more racing action, you can catch the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday nights on Intensity Broadcasting for their ARCA series. But other than that, I'm excited to go to North Wilkesboro. I think I should have talked to Adam about this, but it is kind of in my book more of a rhythm track where Bristol, Darlington, you've seen Thompson being so good at this year. Kind of got to get in a rhythm. It gets kind of monotonous after a while doing the same thing, but if you fall out of rhythm, you're going to lose time. And if you get off rhythm, you can definitely slip up and put yourself in the wall. So definitely going to be a fun one. But before we get out of here, why don't you tell us about our sponsors one last time?
Happy to do it. Once again, this was the Group 6 200 here at Michigan International Speedway in the Group 6 Cup Series. So once again, thank you to Group 6 for stepping up, not only as our series sponsor, but also as our race sponsor here tonight. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they're passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can help drive your digital success. Special thanks once again to Group 6 for being our series sponsor and our race sponsor. Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also very proud and happy in the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your sim racing experience to the next level, be sure to head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com and pick yourself up something today. Trusted by not only the everyday driver, but also by professionals. I can guarantee that if you pick something up over there today, you will not be sorry. Thank you again to Butt Kicker for being a longtime friend and sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. Shameless self-promo at the end of this thing. For those that don't know, myself and John make up a company called Nap Daddy Racing, not only in the broadcast booth here on Thursday nights, but originally started as an iRacing design shop. We've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for anything and everything iRacing. Check out our website at napdaddyracing.com for all of your custom design template or logo needs for your iRacing car, and be sure to check out the free content that is available on the website as well. I believe we just updated the website with some really cool new templates available for a very, very low price. And even if you're not into iRacing yourself, you can grab a t-shirt or a hat or some stickers, help support the brand. You can find us here on Doghouse Racing TV for one more week this year on Thursday nights, our own channel on Monday nights for the Nap Daddy Racing League, and live on TikTok or Twitch as often as we can. Once again, cannot emphasize enough how proud we are to be a part of the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League. Truly do feel like it is one of the very best out there. I know John mentioned it earlier. If you are looking to join a great racing league, be sure to check out the Doghouse Racing League. You can check out their website and get started there. You can reach out to some of the admins here through Discord. You can even reach out to me and John if you want to get involved. Be happy to point you in the right direction. I know John mentioned it again earlier, but be sure to not miss the championship race at North Wilkesboro next week, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, live here only on Doghouse Racing TV. We'll be up here in the booth for that. Very excited. Make sure that you leave a like on the stream. It helps us out so much with growing this channel. Get it over to even more people. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any of the action. And once again, thank you to everybody who chose to spend some of your Thursday night here with us, cheering on your drivers. Really, really great comment section here tonight. Lots of people in here. It was really, really fun for a really, really fun race here at Michigan. Tons of action here tonight. Ton of fun up here in the booth, and looking forward to North Wilkesboro for next week.
Definitely going to be a fun one. Join us here next week for North Wilkesboro, but that's going to be just about it for us here tonight as we wrap this thing up here at Michigan. Definitely looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Thursday night, and excited to see who's gonna win next week, and really these points battles that are starting to shape up here. The last race and all come to fruition at the end of this very long season here. But with that said, that is gonna be just about it for us tonight. For the last time tonight, I've been John,
and I've been Hunter,
and we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.